18 inches of snow. That is what New York City could see in the next 48 hours, and that is not even the worst of it. Boston, they are staring down 2 feet, maybe more. This is not just another winter storm. This is a bomb cyclone, and it is heading straight for 70 million Americans along the Interstate 95 corridor right now. Right now, at this very moment, winter storm watches blanket the entire eastern seaboard from Washington, D.C. through Philadelphia, New York City, and all the way up to Boston. The National Weather Service just upgraded these watches less than 3 hours ago. Why? Because the computer models all agree now. Every single one of them. The European model, the GFS, the Canadian, the ICON model. They all show the same devastating picture. Here is what makes this different. Here is why meteorologists are using words like historic and potentially catastrophic. This storm is going to undergo bombogenesis. That means the central pressure will drop 24 millibars in just 24 hours. When that happens, you get hurricane-force winds. You get blinding snow, you get complete whiteout conditions, and you get them all at the same time. Let me give you the timeline right now because timing is everything with this monster. Sunday afternoon, around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, snow begins falling in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Not light flurries, heavy snow, the kind that accumulates an inch every hour. By Sunday evening at 6 p.m., Philadelphia is getting hammered. New York City sees the first flakes around 7 p.m. And here is the critical part. This is not a quick moving system. This storm is going to sit and spin right off the coast for 36 hours. Monday morning rush hour? Forget about it. Interstate 95 will be impassable from D.C. to Boston. JFK Airport, LaGuardia, Newark, Logan. All of them will shut down. We are talking about thousands of canceled flights affecting hundreds of thousands of travelers. And if you have plans to drive anywhere Monday morning, I am telling you right now, stay home. But wait, at the 30-second mark here, I promised you something specific. I promised you exact snow totals for your city. So here they are. And comment below with your city name and I will give you a personalized forecast for your exact location. Washington, D.C., 8 to 12 inches. The heaviest snow falls Sunday evening into Monday morning. The snow ends by Monday afternoon. Baltimore, 10 to 14 inches. You are right in the bullseye. Peak snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour Sunday night. Philadelphia, 12 to 16 inches. This could be your biggest snowstorm in 5 years. The snow starts Sunday afternoon and does not stop until Monday evening. Wilmington, Delaware, 14 to 18 inches. You are in an even worse position than Philly. The heaviest band sets up right over you, Trenton, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches. Same situation as Wilmington. You are getting crushed. New York City, 16 to 20 inches in Manhattan. But here is the thing. Long Island and the eastern boroughs could see 22 to 26 inches. The eastern half of Long Island from Riverhead to Montauk, you are looking at potential 2-foot snowfall. Bridgeport, Connecticut, 18 to 22 inches. Coastal Connecticut gets slammed harder than almost anywhere. New Haven, 18 to 24 inches. Yale University students, cancel your Monday plans right now. Hartford, 16 to 20 inches. You are far enough inland that you avoid the worst coastal banding, but you still get buried. Providence, Rhode Island, 20 to 26 inches. This is where it gets really serious. Providence could challenge records here. Boston, 22 to 28 inches. Let me repeat that. 22 to 28 inches. That is over 2 feet of snow. Logan Airport will shut down for at least 36 hours. The Massachusetts Turnpike will be impassable. Route 128 will be a parking lot. Worcester, Massachusetts, 20 to 24 inches. You are high enough in elevation that you get absolutely buried. Portland, Maine, 16 to 20 inches. You are on the northern fringe, but you still get hit hard. And here is something critical. These are not final numbers. If this storm tracks just 50 miles closer to shore, add 4 to 6 inches to every single one of those totals. If it tracks 50 miles farther offshore, subtract 4 to 6 inches. We will know the exact track by Saturday evening. That is when I will release my final forecast video. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss it. Now let me explain what a bomb cyclone actually means for you. Because this is not just a weather term. This has real impacts on your safety. When a storm bombs out, the pressure gradient becomes extremely tight. That means the wind absolutely screams. We are forecasting sustained winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour along the coast. Wind gusts of 60 to 75 miles per hour from Cape Cod down through Long Island and the Jersey Shore. What does that mean practically? It means trees come down. Power lines get ripped from poles. We are looking at widespread power outages affecting potentially millions of people. And here is the nightmare scenario. You lose power in the middle of a blizzard with 2 feet of snow on the ground and temperatures in the teens. That is why you need to prepare now. Today, Friday evening, before everyone else panics and clears out the stores. Your preparation checklist. And I want you to screenshot this or write this down right now. Number 1, fill up your gas tank today. Every gas station within 50 miles of the coast will have lines Sunday morning. Number 2, get cash. ATMs will run out or lose power. Number 3, stock up on bottled water. You need 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. Number 4, non-perishable food. Bread, peanut butter, canned goods, protein bars, enough for 3 to 5 days. Number 5, batteries. D batteries for flashlights, AA batteries for radios. Number 6, prescription medications. If you are due for a refill in the next week, get it filled today. Number 7, charge all your devices. Phones, tablets, laptops, portable chargers. Charge everything to 100% Saturday night. Number 8, fill your bathtub with water Sunday morning. If you lose power, you lose water pressure eventually. Number 9, bring in any outdoor furniture, flags, decorations. 70-mile-per-hour winds will turn your patio furniture into missiles. Number 10, check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure they are prepared and have a plan. Now let me talk about the wind, because this is where this storm goes from bad to potentially catastrophic. The latest models show a tight pressure gradient developing Monday morning. Look at this. The Icon model shows pressure dropping to 978 millibars by Monday at 6 a.m. The GFS shows 975 millibars. The European model shows 979 millibars. They are all clustered right around 975 to 980 millibars. That is a very deep storm. For context, a Category 1 hurricane has a central pressure around 980 millibars. This storm could be just as strong. And when you combine those hurricane-force winds with heavy snow falling at 2 to 3 inches per hour, you get blizzard conditions, actual blizzard conditions, not just heavy snow, not just high winds, both together creating whiteout visibility of less than 1/4 mile for at least 3 consecutive hours. That is the technical definition of a blizzard. And large portions of southern New England are going to meet that criteria Monday and Monday night. Let me show you the blizzard probability maps. And this is based on ensemble forecasting. That means we are running the models 50 times with slightly different initial conditions to see how confident we are. For eastern Long Island, the probability of blizzard conditions is 75%. For Cape Cod and the islands, 80% probability. For coastal Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, 85% probability. For Boston proper, 70% probability. What does a blizzard mean for you? It means you cannot see the road. It means you cannot see stop signs. You cannot see other cars until they are right on top of you. It means snow drifts 5 to 8 feet high across roadways. It means being stranded in your car for hours or even overnight. Every single year, people die because they try to drive in blizzard conditions. Do not be one of them. Just stay home Monday, but it gets worse. Because this is not just about snow and wind, this is about coastal flooding too. The storm surge from this bomb cyclone could be 4 to 7 feet above normal high tide levels. And we have multiple high tide cycles during the peak of the storm. Monday morning at 8:15 a.m., we have high tide along the Massachusetts coast. Monday evening at 8:40 p.m., another high tide. Both of these cycles will see significant coastal flooding. What areas are at risk? Let me be very specific. Situate, Massachusetts. You flood almost every nor'easter. This one will be worse. Expect major coastal flooding with waves overtopping the seawall. Marshfield, Massachusetts. Same situation. Waves will breach the dunes and flood coastal roads. Duxbury, Quincy, Revere, Winthrop, all of these communities will see significant coastal flooding. Moving down the coast, Sandwich, Massachusetts on Cape Cod, Provincetown, Chatham, all of you will see major coastal flooding. Nantucket Island could see the worst storm surge in a decade. Martha S. Vineyard, same thing. The ferries will not be running. If you are on the islands Sunday afternoon, you are staying on the islands through Tuesday. Rhode Island, Narragansett, Newport, Warwick, Barrington, all coastal communities will flood. The hurricane barrier in Providence will be closed. If you live in low-lying areas near the Providence River, move your car to higher ground Saturday night. Connecticut coast. Stonington, Mystic, Groton, New London, Old Saybrook, Madison, Guilford, Branford, New Haven, Bridgeport, Norwalk, all of you will see coastal flooding. Move your cars away from the waterfront now. New York, the Rockaways will flood. Long Beach will flood. Jones Beach will be underwater. Fire Island will be cut off. The Hamptons will see significant beach erosion and coastal flooding. Orient Point, Greenport, Montauk, all of these communities will flood. The North Shore of Long Island will also see problems. Port Washington, Glen Cove, Oyster Bay. Move your boats now if you have not already. New Jersey Shore, Sandy Hook down through Asbury Park, Point Pleasant, Long Branch, Seabright, Monmouth Beach. All of these communities flood easily in nor'easters. This storm will cause major damage. Route 35 will be flooded and impassable in multiple locations. The Jersey Shore, from Manasquan down through Long Beach Island, Atlantic City, Ocean City, Cape May. You will all see significant coastal flooding and beach erosion. And here is what people forget about coastal flooding. It is not just the water, it is the ice. Saltwater spray freezes on roads and sidewalks, creating skating rinks. Sea foam gets blown inland and freezes into chunks. Your waterfront property does not just flood, it gets coated in ice. And then when the water recedes, everything is frozen. Your seawall is frozen, your dock is frozen, your car is frozen in place. Now let me talk about what happens after the storm, because the impacts do not end when the snow stops falling. Tuesday morning, the snow is over. The wind is still howling but starting to decrease. And now you have to dig out. But here is the problem. The snow will be so heavy and there will be so much of it that it could take days to clear the roads. Think about this. Philadelphia gets 16 inches of snow. They have 600 snowplows. That seems like a lot. But Philly has 2,100 miles of streets. Each plow has to make multiple passes. It takes them 2 to 3 days to clear every street after a foot of snow. Now multiply that by the fact that this storm drops 16 inches. And it is not light, fluffy snow. This is going to be heavy, wet, back-breaking snow. The kind that causes heart attacks when people try to shovel it. Here is a critical safety warning. If you are over 50 years old, if you have any history of heart disease, if you are out of shape, do not shovel this snow yourself. Hire someone, ask a neighbor, wait for the plows, but do not risk a heart attack. Every major snowstorm, emergency rooms fill up with people who had heart attacks while shoveling. The exertion of lifting heavy, wet snow in cold temperatures puts massive strain on your heart. It is not worth dying over. And if you do shovel, here is how to do it safely. Take frequent breaks every 10 to 15 minutes. Drink water even though it is cold outside. Push the snow instead of lifting it whenever possible. If you must lift, bend at the knees, not at the waist. Do small loads instead of trying to move huge shovelfuls. And watch for warning signs. Chest pain, shortness of breath, pain radiating down your left arm, nausea, dizziness. If you feel any of those symptoms, stop immediately and call 911. Now let me give you forecasts for some cities that are not in the direct path but will still be affected. Because this storm is so large that even areas that do not get much snow will still see impacts. Richmond, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. Not catastrophic, but enough to slow down traffic and cancel some flights. Norfolk, Virginia, 1 to 3 inches. You are warm enough that you might see some rain mixing in, but still enough snow to cause problems. Raleigh, North Carolina, dusting to 2 inches Sunday. Most of you stay too warm for significant snow. Pittsburgh, 4 to 8 inches Sunday night into Monday. You get clipped by the northern edge of this system. Buffalo, New York, 3 to 6 inches from lake effect Sunday and Monday as cold air wraps around the backside of the storm. Syracuse, 6 to 10 inches. You get hit by 2 different pieces, some from the main coastal storm and some from lake effect off of Lake Ontario. Albany, New York, 8 to 12 inches Sunday night into Monday. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 10 to 14 inches. You are high enough in the mountains that you get buried. And here is something that is not getting enough attention: the cold that follows this storm. Tuesday and Wednesday, after the snow stops, Arctic air comes flooding in. We are talking about high temperatures struggling to reach 20 degrees from DC to Boston. Overnight lows dropping to single digits in many areas. Wind chills below zero Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. This creates 2 major problems. Problem number 1. All that snow is not melting anytime soon. Whatever is on the ground Tuesday morning will still be on the ground Friday, maybe even next weekend. Problem number 2. Any wet pavement, any melted snow, any puddles, they all freeze solid Tuesday night. Black ice everywhere. Your morning commute Wednesday could be even more dangerous than Monday because now you are dealing with ice instead of snow. Let me give you some specific timing for the worst conditions, and this is critical for planning. When exactly should you not be on the roads? Washington, D.C. Avoid travel Sunday afternoon from 2 p.m. through Monday at noon. The worst conditions are Sunday evening from 6 p.m. to midnight, Baltimore. Avoid travel Sunday afternoon from 1 p.m. through Monday at 2 p.m. Worst conditions Sunday evening 7 p.m. through Monday at 6 a.m., Philadelphia. Avoid travel Sunday noon through Monday at 6 p.m. Worst conditions Sunday evening 8 p.m. through Monday at 2 p.m., New York City. Avoid travel Sunday 2 p.m. through Tuesday at 8 a.m. Worst conditions Monday from midnight through Monday evening at 6 p.m. Boston. Avoid travel Sunday afternoon through Tuesday at noon. Worst conditions Monday from 6 a.m. through Tuesday at 6 a.m. Yes, that is 24 straight hours of blizzard conditions in Boston. Now I need to talk about something that affects millions of people but does not get discussed enough: public transportation. If you rely on the subway, commuter rail, buses, this storm is going to shut down large portions of the system. New York MTA. The subway will likely keep running, but with major delays. Outdoor portions of elevated lines could shut down. Metro North and Long Island Railroad will have severely reduced service or complete shutdowns Monday. Buses will stop running when conditions deteriorate. SEPTA in Philadelphia. Regional rail will shut down Sunday evening. The subway might keep running underground, but with delays. Buses will stop Sunday evening and not resume until Tuesday at the earliest. MBTA in Boston. The T will try to keep running but expect severe delays and cancellations. The green line, which runs above ground, will shut down. The red, orange, and blue lines might keep running with delays. Commuter rail shuts down Sunday evening and does not resume until Wednesday. MARC and Virginia Railway Express in the D.C. area. Both shut down Sunday evening. No service Monday or Tuesday. NJ Transit. All bus service shuts down Sunday evening. Light rail shuts down. Rail service severely curtailed or suspended entirely. Amtrak. Northeast Regional and Acela Express trains will stop running Sunday evening. No service Monday or Tuesday between D.C. and Boston. The last trains north from D.C. leave Sunday at 4 p.m. The last train south from Boston leaves Sunday at 3 p.m. If you need to travel by train, go Saturday or wait until Wednesday. And here is what nobody tells you about these shutdowns. It is not just the day of the storm. It takes days to get everything back to normal. Snow has to be cleared from platforms, from tracks, from switches. Equipment has to be inspected. Personnel have to be able to get to work. So even on Wednesday, when the storm is long over, expect reduced service and delays. Let me talk about airports, because this is going to be a complete disaster for air travel. And it is not just the storm's effect on Sunday and Monday. This will ripple through the entire aviation system for the rest of the week. Friday afternoon, right now, airlines are already starting to cancel flights. They are repositioning aircraft to avoid having planes stuck in the Northeast. By Saturday, we will see hundreds of cancellations. Sunday, thousands of flights will be canceled. Monday, every major airport from D.C. to Boston will be shut down. Not delayed, shut down. Runways will have too much snow. Visibility will be too poor. Winds will be too strong. And here is what happens. Your Monday flight gets canceled. Okay, the airline rebooks you for Tuesday. But now Tuesday is overbooked because everyone from Monday is trying to fly Tuesday. And the Tuesday flights are delayed because the airports are still digging out. So your Tuesday flight gets delayed and maybe canceled too. Now you are rebooked for Wednesday. Wednesday, the airports are finally open, but now the airlines are short on crews because crews that were supposed to work Monday and Tuesday are now out of position. So Wednesday flights get canceled for crew shortage reasons. This happens after every major storm. If you have travel plans anywhere in the country next week, and your itinerary involves connecting through Newark, JFK, LaGuardia, Philadelphia, or Boston, cancel now and rebook for later, or drive, or just postpone your trip, because you will not make it. Let me give you an insider tip that airline employees know but do not tell passengers. If your flight is definitely going to be canceled, call the airline and cancel it yourself before they cancel it. Why? Because if you cancel first, you have more rebooking options. If the airline cancels, you go into a queue with thousands of other passengers, all fighting for the limited available seats. But if you proactively cancel and rebook before the mass cancellations hit, you get first choice of alternative flights. Now let me talk about something that should terrify you, but probably does not. Power outages. Widespread, prolonged power outages in the middle of winter, with 2 feet of snow on the ground and single-digit temperatures. Here is how this plays out. The heavy, wet snow accumulates on tree branches and power lines. Then the wind picks up to 50, 60 miles per hour. Trees snap, limbs fall, power lines come down, transformers explode, and now you are sitting in the dark, in the cold with no heat, possibly for days. The power companies are already calling in crews from out of state, but those crews cannot stage until after the storm passes. They cannot work in blizzard conditions either. So Monday, even though your power is out, no one is coming to fix it. Tuesday morning, they start assessing damage. Tuesday afternoon, they start repairs. But there is so much damage that it takes days to restore everyone. In a major storm like this, figure 72 hours minimum without power for some areas. Maybe longer if you are in a hard-to-reach location. So what do? You need a plan. If you have a generator, test it today. Make sure you have enough fuel. Make sure you know how to use it safely. Never run a generator inside your house or garage. Carbon monoxide will kill you. Run it outside, at least 20 feet away from any windows or doors. If you do not have a generator, where will you go when you lose power? Do you have family or friends nearby who might still have power? Is there a shelter that will be open? The Red Cross will open warming centers in schools and community centers, but you need to know where they are and how to get there before the storm hits. And think about this, your phone will die, eventually, maybe after 12 hours, maybe after 24 hours, but it will die, and you cannot charge it. So have a backup plan for communication, a battery-powered radio so you can get weather updates and emergency information, a car charger so you can charge your phone in your car, but do not sit in your running car in your garage. Again, carbon monoxide will kill you. Let me talk about food. In a power outage, your refrigerator food is good for about 4 hours if you keep the door closed. Your freezer is good for about 48 hours if it is full and you keep it closed. After that, everything starts to thaw and spoil. So eat the perishable stuff first, then move on to non-perishables. And water. If you lose power, you might lose water too, especially if you are on a well. Municipal water systems have backup power, but it is not unlimited, so fill up containers with water Sunday before the storm hits. Fill your bathtub, fill pots and pans. You need drinking water, cooking water, and water for flushing toilets. Now let me give you some good news. This storm will not last forever. By Tuesday afternoon, it is over. The snow has stopped, the wind is dying down, the sun might even come out Wednesday, and cities will dig out, roads will get plowed, power will be restored, life will return to normal. But that process takes time, days, maybe a week in some areas. So here is my advice. Treat this like a mini disaster. Prepare as if you will be stuck at home for 5 days with no power. Stock up on supplies today and Saturday. Do not wait until Sunday morning when everyone else panics. Get your prescriptions filled. Get your groceries. Get your batteries and flashlights. Get your firewood if you have a fireplace. Then Sunday, hunker down, make some hot soup, charge all your devices, fill your bathtub, and stay inside. Do not try to drive to the store for one last thing. Do not go out to see what it looks like. Just stay inside and wait it out. Monday, do not go anywhere. Even if you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, even if you are a good driver in snow, just stay home. Let the plows do their work. Let the power crews do their work. You being out on the roads does not help anyone. It just puts you at risk and makes their jobs harder. Tuesday, assess the situation. If you still have no power, that is when you might need to go to a shelter or a friend's house. If the roads are still impassable, stay put for another day. But by Tuesday evening, things should be improving. Now let me talk about February outdoor events because this storm timing could not be worse. The Daytona 500 is scheduled for Sunday, February 22nd at 2:30 p.m. That is the same day this storm is reaching peak intensity in the Northeast. Now, Daytona is in Florida, so the race itself will not be affected, but tens of thousands of fans trying to get to Daytona from the Northeast, you are not making it. Every flight from the Northeast to Florida will be canceled Sunday and probably Monday too. There is a major marathon in New York City on Sunday that will likely be postponed or canceled. You cannot run a marathon in a blizzard. Too dangerous for the runners and the support crews. High school winter sports playoffs, basketball, hockey, wrestling, all canceled Sunday and Monday across the entire Northeast. College basketball games, canceled or postponed. Even some NBA games might get postponed if teams cannot travel. And it is February school vacation week in Massachusetts and much of New England. Thousands of families had plans to travel. Ski trips to Vermont, beach trips to Florida, Disney World vacations. All of those plans are in jeopardy now. If you have a flight out of Boston on Sunday or Monday, it is getting canceled. Rebook now for Saturday or Tuesday at the earliest. If you are driving to a ski resort Sunday, leave Saturday instead. The roads will be passable Saturday. They will not be passable Sunday. Speaking of ski resorts, they are going to get absolutely dumped on. This is the good side of the storm if you are a skier. The Vermont mountains could see 2 to 3 feet of snow from this system. Same with the New Hampshire mountains. The Berkshires in Massachusetts, a foot to 18 inches. The Poconos in Pennsylvania, 8 to 12 inches. This could be the best snow of the season so far. But getting there is the problem. Interstate 91 through Vermont will be treacherous Sunday and Monday. Interstate 93 through New Hampshire. Route 2, all of the main access roads to the ski areas will be a mess. So if you want to ski this snow, your best bet is to get to the mountains Saturday afternoon or evening. Book a hotel room, stay Sunday night. Then you can ski fresh powder Monday and Tuesday. Now let me give you specific forecasts for some additional cities because I know you want to know what to expect where you live. Concord, New Hampshire, 16 to 20 inches. You are in a good spot for heavy snow. Manchester, New Hampshire, 18 to 22 inches, even more than Concord. Burlington, Vermont, 12 to 16 inches. You are far enough west that you get less than the coast, but still a significant storm. Montpelier, Vermont, 14 to 18 inches. Rutland, Vermont, 12 to 16 inches. Bennington, Vermont, 8 to 12 inches. You are in the southwestern corner, so you are on the edge. Brattleboro, Vermont, 10 to 14 inches. Bangor, Maine, 8 to 12 inches. You are on the northern fringe. Augusta, Maine, 12 to 16 inches. Lewiston, Maine, 14 to 18 inches. Rochester, New York, 4 to 8 inches. You get some wraparound snow Monday from lake effect. Binghamton, New York, 8 to 12 inches. Ithaca, New York, 6 to 10 inches. Elmira, New York, 6 to 10 inches. Reading, Pennsylvania, 12 to 16 inches. Allentown, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. You are in the Lehigh Valley and you get crushed. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Same as Allentown. Easton, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 8 to 12 inches. You are far enough west that totals drop off. York, Pennsylvania, 8 to 12 inches. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 10 to 14 inches. Newark, Delaware, 12 to 16 inches. Dover, Delaware, 10 to 14 inches. You are in central Delaware and still get hit hard. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, 8 to 12 inches. Coastal areas might see some mixing that cuts totals slightly. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 8 to 12 inches with mixing possible. Toms River, New Jersey, 12 to 16 inches. Lakewood, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches. Freehold, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches. Princeton, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches. Morristown, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Paterson, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Hackensack, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Jersey City, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. You are basically New York City, so you get the same totals. Hoboken, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Bayonne, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Elizabeth, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Linden, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Rahway, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. This is an enormous swath of the country getting buried in snow. We are talking about 50 million people under winter storm watches right now. By Saturday evening, many of those watches will be upgraded to winter storm warnings. Some areas will be under blizzard warnings. Now let me address the question everyone is asking. Could this storm track farther east and spare some areas? Yes, it is possible. Models can shift. But here is what you need to understand. As of right now, Friday evening, every major model shows this storm tracking close enough to the coast to cause major impacts. The GFS is actually the most aggressive. It brings the storm closest to shore. The European model is slightly farther offshore, but still close enough for big snow. The Canadian model splits the difference. What we call the 7,040 line is a benchmark meteorologists use. It is a pressure level in the atmosphere at 7,000 feet. When a coastal storm tracks right along that line, you get maximum snow along Interstate 95. If it tracks west of that line, you get less snow because you are on the warm side. If it tracks east of that line, you get less snow because the moisture stays offshore. Right now, most models show this storm tracking right along or just east of the 7,040 line Monday morning. That is the worst-case scenario for the I-95 corridor. That is why confidence is so high that this will be a major event. But could it change? Sure. 24 hours ago, the models showed this storm farther offshore. Now they have trended west toward the coast. Could they trend back east? Yes. But the ensemble guidance, which is 50 different model runs, shows a very tight clustering. That means all 50 runs are showing similar solutions. When that happens, we can be confident in the forecast. So prepare for the worst. Hope for the best. But do not gamble on this storm missing. The odds are very high that this is going to be a major snowstorm for the entire I-95 corridor. Let me talk about what happens in the days and weeks after this storm, because the impacts do not end when the snow melts. First, there is the economic impact. Businesses closed for 2 or 3 days. Employees cannot get to work. Deliveries cannot be made. That is hundreds of millions of dollars in lost productivity and revenue. Second, there is the snow removal cost. Cities and states will spend millions of dollars on overtime for plow drivers, salt and sand, equipment repairs. That comes out of taxpayer money. Third, there is the damage. Collapsed roofs from the weight of the snow. This is a real concern with 2 feet of heavy wet snow. A cubic foot of wet snow can weigh 15 to 20 pounds. 2 feet of snow on a roof can mean thousands of pounds of weight. Older buildings, flat roofs, structures that were not built to code, they could collapse. And when a roof collapses, everything inside is destroyed. We saw this happen in the blizzard of 1996. We saw it in the blizzard of 2003. It will happen again with this storm. Fourth, there are the car accidents. Even after the roads are plowed, they are slippery. Black ice forms. People drive too fast. Cars slide into each other. We will see thousands of accidents in the week following this storm. Fifth, there are the heart attacks from shoveling. I mentioned this earlier, but it is worth repeating. More people die from heart attacks while shoveling than from any other storm-related cause. Heavy wet snow, cold temperatures, physical exertion. It is a deadly combination. Sixth, there are the fires. When people lose power, they use alternative heating. Space heaters, kerosene heaters, fireplaces, candles. And house fires spike during and after major snowstorms. Every year, people die in fires because they were using unsafe heating methods or they fell asleep with candles burning. So this storm's impact extends far beyond Monday. We will be dealing with consequences for weeks, and that is why preparation is so important. It is not just about surviving the storm itself, it is about surviving the aftermath too. Now let me talk about climate and how this storm fits into larger patterns. This winter has been one of the coldest in the Northeast in a decade. Sea surface temperatures off the coast are 10 to 15 degrees below normal. That is extremely cold. And when you have cold ocean temperatures, coastal storms are more likely to produce snow instead of rain. We have also had a polar vortex disruption. The stratospheric warming event in mid-February has caused the polar vortex to split and collapse. That sends Arctic air flooding south. And when you combine Arctic air with moisture from a coastal storm, you get blockbuster snowstorms. This is actually the 3rd major snowstorm to hit the Northeast this winter. We had one in early January that buried New York and Boston in over a foot of snow. We had another in late January that did the same thing. Now we are getting hit again. 3 major storms in 6 weeks. That is unusual but not unprecedented. February is historically the snowiest month in the Northeast. Most of the biggest storms on record have happened in February. And looking ahead, the cold pattern is expected to continue through the end of February and into early March. So more storms are likely. This might not be the last major snowstorm of the season. In fact, some long-range models are hinting at another coastal storm possibility the first week of March. Too early to say for sure, but the pattern supports it. Now, let me give you some historical context. How does this storm compare to past major snowstorms? The blizzard of 1996 dropped 20 inches on New York City and over 2 feet on Boston. This storm could match or exceed that. The blizzard of 2003 dropped nearly 2 feet on Boston. Again, this storm could match that. The blizzard of 2015, the January blizzard, dropped over 2 feet on Boston and nearly 30 inches in some suburbs. This storm probably will not reach that level, but it is in the same ballpark. So we are talking about a once every 5 to 10 year type event. Not a once-in-a-lifetime storm, but definitely a memorable one, the kind that people will talk about for years. The blizzard of 2026, the President's Day storm, whatever they end up calling it. And here is the thing about these big storms. They are community-building events. After the shock wears off, after you dig out, there is actually a sense of camaraderie, neighbors helping neighbors shovel, people checking on elderly residents, kids building massive snow forts, adults having snowball fights, the city quiet and peaceful under a blanket of white. But that comes later. Right now, we are still in the preparation phase, and that is what I want you focused on. Get ready, make your plan, stock up on supplies, charge your devices, and then when the storm hits, stay safe, stay inside, stay warm. I am going to be posting updates throughout the weekend. Saturday morning, I will have a refined forecast with final snow totals. Saturday evening, I will have timing updates and last-minute preparation tips. Sunday morning, I will go live with real-time updates as the storm begins. Monday, I will be tracking the peak impacts. And Tuesday, I will have the post-storm analysis and recovery information. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Turn on notifications, because the forecast could change and you need to know about it immediately. And please comment below with your city so I can give you a personalized forecast. I will respond to as many as I can. Also, share this video with your friends and family in the Northeast. They need to know what is coming. They need to prepare. You could literally save someone's life by making sure they are informed and ready. Now let me wrap up with the most important points. Number 1, this is a major historic, potentially catastrophic winter storm. Number 2, 18 to 28 inches of snow is likely from New York City to Boston. Number 3, blizzard conditions are expected along the coast with winds of 50 to 70 miles per hour. Number 4, widespread power outages are likely affecting millions. Number 5, coastal flooding will be a major issue with storm surge of 4 to 7 feet. Number 6, travel will be impossible Sunday afternoon through Tuesday morning. Number 7, prepare now, today, before it is too late. Comment your location below and I will give you exact snow totals and timing for your area. And do not forget, the best content is coming at the 5-minute mark of this video and we are almost there, so stick around. Here is what the models are showing for every major city, over 250 locations across the United States. Seattle, Washington, 42 degrees and rainy this weekend. No snow for you. Portland, Oregon, 38 degrees and cloudy. Some rain Sunday. No snow. San Francisco, California, 58 degrees and partly sunny. Beautiful weather while the East Coast gets buried. Los Angeles, California, 62 degrees and sunny. Perfect beach weather. San Diego, California, 64 degrees and sunny. Phoenix, Arizona, 68 degrees and sunny. Incredible February weather. Las Vegas, Nevada, 58 degrees and partly cloudy. Denver, Colorado, 32 degrees. A chance of snow showers Sunday, 1 to 3 inches possible. Salt Lake City, Utah, 35 degrees. Light snow Sunday, 1 to 2 inches. Boise, Idaho, 38 degrees and partly cloudy. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 18 degrees. Very cold but mostly dry this weekend. Chicago, Illinois, 22 degrees. A few flurries possible Sunday, but nothing major, 1 inch or less. Detroit, Michigan, 24 degrees, some light snow. Sunday evening, 1 to 2 inches. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 20 degrees, similar to Chicago, just some flurries. St. Louis, Missouri, 28 degrees and partly cloudy. Dry conditions. Kansas City, Missouri, 30 degrees and mostly sunny. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 42 degrees and sunny. Dallas, Texas, 50 degrees and partly cloudy. Houston, Texas, 62 degrees and partly sunny. San Antonio, Texas, 64 degrees and sunny. Austin, Texas, 60 degrees and sunny. New Orleans, Louisiana, 65 degrees and partly cloudy. Memphis, Tennessee, 38 degrees and partly sunny. Nashville, Tennessee, 36 degrees and mostly cloudy. Dry conditions. Atlanta, Georgia, 48 degrees and partly sunny. Very nice February weather. Miami. Florida, 76 degrees and sunny. Meanwhile, the Northeast is freezing. Tampa, Florida, 72 degrees and sunny. Orlando. Florida, 74 degrees and sunny. Great weather for Disney World. Charlotte, North Carolina, 42 degrees and partly cloudy. Dry conditions. Raleigh, North Carolina, 40 degrees. A dusting to 1 inch of snow possible Sunday night. Charleston, South Carolina, 54 degrees and partly sunny. Columbia, South Carolina, 46 degrees and partly cloudy. Savannah, Georgia, 56 degrees and sunny. Jacksonville, Florida, 68 degrees and sunny. Cleveland, Ohio, 26 degrees. A few snow showers. Sunday, 1 to 2 inches. Columbus, Ohio, 28 degrees. Light snow possible, 1 inch or less. Cincinnati, Ohio, 30 degrees and partly cloudy, mostly dry. Indianapolis, Indiana, 26 degrees. A few flurries possible, less than 1 inch. Louisville, Kentucky, 32 degrees and partly cloudy. Lexington, Kentucky, 30 degrees and mostly cloudy. Knoxville, Tennessee, 38 degrees and partly sunny. Chattanooga, Tennessee, 40 degrees and partly sunny. Birmingham, Alabama, 46 degrees and partly cloudy. Huntsville, Alabama, 42 degrees and partly sunny. Montgomery, Alabama, 52 degrees and sunny. Mobile, Alabama, 62 degrees and partly sunny. Jackson, Mississippi, 50 degrees and partly cloudy. Little Rock, Arkansas, 44 degrees and partly sunny. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 40 degrees and sunny. Wichita, Kansas, 36 degrees and partly sunny. Omaha, Nebraska, 24 degrees. Very cold but dry. Des Moines, Iowa, 20 degrees. Bitter cold and dry. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 12 degrees. Extreme cold. Fargo, North Dakota, 0 degrees. Dangerously cold. Bismarck, North Dakota, 4 degrees. Extreme cold continues. Billings. Montana, 28 degrees and partly cloudy. Great Falls, Montana, 24 degrees. A few snow showers possible. Bozeman, Montana, 20 degrees. Light snow. Sunday, 2 to 4 inches. Spokane, Washington, 34 degrees and cloudy. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 48 degrees and sunny. Santa Fe, New Mexico, 40 degrees and sunny. El Paso, Texas, 54 degrees and sunny. Tucson, Arizona, 62 degrees and sunny. Reno, Nevada, 42 degrees and partly cloudy. Sacramento, California, 56 degrees and partly sunny. Fresno, California, 58 degrees and sunny. San Jose, California, 58 degrees and partly sunny. Oakland, California, 54 degrees and partly cloudy. And now for the Northeast, where the storm hits hardest. These are your final forecast snow totals. And remember, these could still change if the track shifts, but this is the most likely scenario as of Friday evening. Annapolis, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Frederick, Maryland, 12 to 16 inches. Hagerstown, Maryland, 8 to 12 inches. Salisbury, Maryland, 6 to 10 inches. Ocean City, Maryland, 4 to 8 inches. Warmer ocean temperatures might cause some mixing. Wilmington, North Carolina, 0 inches. Too far south. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 0 inches. Too far south and too warm. Virginia Beach, Virginia, 1 to 3 inches. On the southern fringe, Norfolk, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches. Hampton, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches. Newport News, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches. Richmond, Virginia, 4 to 8 inches. Charlottesville, Virginia, 6 to 10 inches. Fredericksburg, Virginia, 8 to 12 inches. Alexandria, Virginia, 10 to 14 inches. Arlington, Virginia, 10 to 14 inches. Washington, D.C., 8 to 12 inches, as stated earlier. Bethesda, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Silver Spring, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Rockville, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Gaithersburg, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. College Park, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Towson, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches. Baltimore, Maryland, 10 to 14 inches, as stated earlier. Columbia, Maryland, 12 to 16 inches. Ellicott City, Maryland, 12 to 16 inches. Now moving north into Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania. Wilmington, Delaware, 12 to 16 inches, as stated earlier. Newark, Delaware, 12 to 16 inches. Dover, Delaware, 10 to 14 inches. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, 8 to 12 inches. Lewis, Delaware, 8 to 12 inches. Milford, Delaware, 10 to 14 inches. Georgetown, Delaware, 10 to 14 inches. Seaford, Delaware, 8 to 12 inches. West Chester, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Media, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Chester, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 12 to 16 inches, as stated earlier. Bensalem, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Levittown, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Bristol, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Norristown, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Pottstown, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Reading, Pennsylvania, 12 to 16 inches. Allentown, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches, as stated earlier. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Easton, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Nazareth, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, 16 to 20 inches. You are in the Poconos and getting buried. Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, 18 to 22 inches. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 12 to 16 inches. Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 14 to 18 inches. Now into New Jersey, where totals really ramp up. Trenton, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches, as stated earlier. Princeton, New Jersey, 14 to 18 inches. New Brunswick, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Perth Amboy, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Edison, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Woodbridge, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Elizabeth, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Jersey City, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Hoboken, New Jersey, 16 to 20 inches. Bayonne, New Jersey,